At my husband's funeral, my mother-in-law slapped my 6-year-old son. And that wasn't even the worst part, because what happened after that made me realize something I should have seen years ago. No one was crying loudly. Just quiet, heavy silence. The kind that makes you feel like you shouldn't even breathe too hard. The priest kept speaking, but I didn't hear a single word he said. I stood there holding my son's hand, and all I could focus on was the sound of dirt hitting the coffin, one thud at a time. Final. "Mom," his voice was small. "Why are they putting him in the ground?" That question didn't feel like a question. It felt like something breaking. I pulled him close. "He's resting," I said, but my voice didn't sound like mine. "I want him to come back." I swallowed hard. I wanted to cry. I really did, but something inside me just shut off. Because in that moment, I realized something worse than losing my husband. There was no one else coming for my son, only me. When it ended, people came up to me, said things, touched my shoulder. I don't remember a single face, but I remember theirs. My in-laws standing a few steps away, watching. They didn't come to me, not once, not a word, not even a look at my son. My mother-in-law wiped her eyes, but it didn't feel real. My father-in-law just stood there, still, cold, like none of this surprised him. And that's when it hit me they weren't grieving him. They were thinking about something else, something I didn't understand yet. On the drive back, no one spoke. Not a single word. My son held my hand the entire time, tighter than usual, like he felt it too. And as the gates opened and that house came into view, I felt it. That shift. That something wasn't right. Because what was waiting for us inside that house was already worse than losing him. The moment we walked into the house, everything changed. People were already inside, sitting, watching, waiting. And the second we stepped in, the room went quiet, not respectful quiet. The kind that feels like people are about to see something. My son didn't notice. He slowly let go of my hand and walked toward the table in the center of the room. There was a photo of his father, framed, surrounded by flowers. He stood there for a second, just looking at it. Then he picked it up. "Dad," he whispered. And then it slipped. The frame hit the floor. Glass shattered everywhere. The sound cut through the entire room. Sharp, loud, final. He froze. His small body went still. "I'm sorry," he said quickly, his voice shaking. Then slap. His face snapped to the side. The sound echoed louder than the glass. For a second, no one moved. No one spoke. I didn't react, not immediately. It felt like my body needed a second to understand what just happened. Then I looked up and saw her, my mother-in-law, standing right in front of him, her hand still raised. Her face filled with anger, not grief. Anger. My son held his cheek, tears falling instantly. He didn't even cry loudly, just stood there, shocked. That's when I moved. I rushed forward and pulled him into my arms. It's okay, I whispered, but my voice wasn't steady. Not anymore. I looked at his face. That red mark on his cheek, it stayed there, burning. Then I looked at her. "Why did you hit him?" I asked, my voice low, tight. "He's just a child." She didn't hesitate, didn't soften, didn't look away. "He's garbage." For a second, I thought I heard wrong. "What?" "He ruined my son's life," she said, cold, sharp. Like she meant every word. My arms tightened around him. "You're talking about your grandson." Before she could answer, another voice cut in. "She's right." I turned. My sister-in-law stepped forward, arms crossed, watching me like she'd been waiting for this. "You brought nothing but problems into this house," she said. "You and him." The room didn't react. That was the worst part. No one stopped them. No one defended us. People just watched. And that's when something inside me shifted, not loudly, not suddenly, just quietly. Because in that moment, I realized something. This wasn't grief. This wasn't anger. This was who they really were, and they had no idea what they had just triggered. "You really think you belong here?" The voice came from behind her. My father-in-law stepped forward. Calm, cold, he looked at me, then at my son. That was enough. "We made a mistake," he said, "letting you into this family." The room stayed silent. Watching, my son gripped my clothes tighter, trying to hide. "You came into this house with nothing," my sister-in-law said, smiling. "Nothing but problems." No one stopped them. Not even after what they did to him. My father-in-law stepped closer. "This house, this name," he paused, "was never yours. And him," a glance at my son, He doesn't belong here either. A beat. He never did. My son buried his face into me. Mom, I'm sorry. That's when something in me stopped holding back. I took one breath, then looked up. Are you done? The room shifted. A few people looked at each other. They weren't expecting that. Pack your things, my mother-in-law said. Take him and leave. There's no place for beggars here, my father-in-law added. Beggars. A few people smiled. I looked at every face. Every person who watched and said nothing. Then at my son, still shaking. Okay, I said, calm, that confused them. I reached into my pocket, pulled out my phone, dialed, silence again. I need you to come. A pause. It's time. I ended the call, looked back at them. I wasn't asking anymore. Because in the next 2 hours, everything they thought they controlled was about to be taken from them. Who did you call? My mother-in-law's voice cut through the room, still sharp, but not as steady. I didn't answer, I just stood there. Holding my son's hand, the silence stretched, too long. She probably called someone to help her leave, my sister-in-law said. A small laugh followed. But this time, not everyone joined. Some people were watching me now. Carefully, my father-in-law exhaled. This is pointless, he said. Just go. I didn't move. Minutes passed, slow, heavy. My mother-in-law crossed her arms. This is getting embarrassing. But she wasn't looking at me anymore. She was looking at the door. Then it opened. No one spoke. No one moved. 2 men walked in. Calm, direct, like they already knew where they were going. One of them held a file. The other scanned the room once, then focused. They didn't greet anyone, didn't hesitate. They just walked forward. Who are you? My father-in-law asked. His voice tighter now. The man with the file stopped in the center of the room, looked at him, then said, We're here regarding Mr. Adrian Hayes' estate. Silence. Real silence this time. My mother-in-law stepped forward. We've already handled everything. Too fast, the man gave a small nod. I suggest you listen carefully. Something shifted again. He opened the file, flipped one page. My sister-in-law frowned. Wait, what is this? No one answered her. The man looked down, then began. According to the legally registered will, there's been a mistake, my father-in-law cut in. Quick, defensive. The man didn't stop. All financial assets, business ownership, and properties. He paused, just long enough. And in that moment, the room changed. No one looked confident anymore. My mother-in-law's voice dropped. When was this signed? The man turned a page. 1 month prior. That landed. Hard, my sister-in-law's smile disappeared. My father-in-law didn't speak. And for the first time, they looked at me, not with control, not with anger, with doubt. And I didn't say a word. Because in the next moment, everything they thought they owned was about to collapse. The man's voice stayed calm. To his son. Silence, not confusion, not noise, just silence, like the room needed a second to catch up. My father-in-law blinked, once, then again. That's not possible. No one answered him. My sister-in-law stepped forward. That has to be wrong. But her voice didn't hold. My mother-in-law didn't speak. She couldn't, she just stared at the file. The man turned a page. Legal guardian Jessica Hayes. That's when they realized. My father-in-law opened his mouth, then stopped. My sister-in-law looked at him. Waiting, he had nothing. You knew about this? My mother-in-law asked. Quieter now, I nodded. Your son knew too, I said. Calm, no one interrupted. He knew where the money was going. A pause. He knew exactly who you were. That landed. Heavy. My sister-in-law looked down, didn't speak. My father-in-law didn't argue, didn't deny it. Because he couldn't, I looked at them. The same people who stood there and called my son worthless. You just slapped the owner. Silence. No one looked at me anymore. They looked at him, then it broke. We didn't mean. You misunderstood. We were just. Their voices overlapped. Fast, desperate, but I didn't respond. I just held my son's hand. The same child they tried to throw out. Then I said, leave. No anger, no raised voice, just final. And this time they listened. Immediately. By the end of the week, everything was official. The house, the business, all of it, they were gone. The house felt different. Quiet, safe. I sat beside my son, pulled him close. You're safe now, I whispered. He looked at me, still soft, still innocent. And for the first time, I smiled. They called him worthless. Please subscribe to our channel and tell us in comments from where are you watching this video.